Some days later, Mr. Okoro and some of the king's men were heading home from the village meeting when Mr. Okonta stopped, looking at a particular direction, shocked. They noticed that he had stopped and asked to know why. When he raised his index finger, pointing at that same direction, and said, "When did this madness start?" Mr. Okoro and others were more confused, and they asked what he meant by what he said. Weeks later, Nkechi was on her way to the village river when she saw the madman by the river bank drinking water. And at the sight of the madman, she felt happy as all her worries had been lifted from her mind. She quickly walked closer to the madman, feeling excited to see him, and asked where he had been. The madman replied her, saying that he went to the nearby village to beg for food, as no one accepted to give him food in her village. Nkechi was moved by his words. She felt pity for him and promised to be giving him 3 square meals a day and made him to stay close to the village square for easy location. The madman was very happy to hear that from her, and he thanked her for her generosity. He helped her build some water into her water pots before departing to their various ways. On her way home, she kept thinking about the madman. Despite being mad, he is harmless, helpful, and can communicate with people. Why then do they find it hard to spare him 1 square meal? She wondered why she continued her way home. When she got home, she told her mother the good news of finding the madman by the river bank and how he helped her build some water into her water pots. And she was so excited to discuss it with her mother. "Be careful, my child. He is a madman, and a madman will always be a madman, no matter how calm and helpful they might look. Always maintain your distance, my dear," her mother warned, and she nodded her head in agreement. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, her friendship with the madman became stronger and spent most of her free time with him. They would always eat together and tell stories together, and most times they would walk round the village singing. It got to a point that people began to whisper behind her back, saying that ever since she became friends with the madman, she had also gone mad. Who in her right senses would be a friend to a madman and be so comfortable with it? One of the market women asked, "May my eyes never see my ears?" It's very obvious that she has gone mad, and her parents did nothing about it. Another woman added, "My fellow women, we can't sit down, fold our hands, and do nothing about this madness." Her parents might not even be aware of this madness, and the earlier they know and do something about it, the better for our children, before they start following her footsteps, another woman said. And they all decided to visit Nkechi's father's compound that evening. When they arrived at Mr. Okoro's compound that evening, the women told Mr. and Mrs. Okoro all that they have seen and witnessed concerning their daughter Nkechi and the madman, who is also known as Auntie Give Me Small Food. But her parents couldn't believe their ears. know my daughter Nkechi is a very generous person and also feel pity for those in need, and I also know that she takes food to the madman. But eating and parading round the village with a madman is totally unacceptable. Mrs. Okoro said, "You better start accepting it and look for a way to stop her before our daughter starts associating with all the madmen in this village. My daughter is ripe for marriage, and I don't want any suitor to think that my daughter associates herself with a madman. I don't want my daughter to remain in my house forever because of your daughter's madness and bad company. You better do something now or else," some of the village women said in warning, holding their ears before they left. I don't believe those women and whatever they came here to say, and I'm very sure they might be mistaken, Mr. Okoro said. "Don't you think we should ask her to hear her own side of the story?" Mrs. Okoro asked. "No, that is not necessary. And don't tell me you believe those market women," Mr. Okoro asked. "No, my husband, but I think we should ask to know," she replied. "No need for long talks. I trust my daughter, and I don't believe all what those women said earlier." Later that evening, Nkechi came back from the market, had her dinner, and went to bed without being questioned. Some days later, Mr. Okoro and some of the kinsmen were heading home from the village meeting when Mr. Okonta stopped, looking at a particular direction, shocked. They noticed he stopped and asked to know why, when he raised his index finger, pointing at that same direction, and said, "When did this madness start?" Mr. Okoro and others were more confused, and they asked what he meant by what he said. And then he walked closer to Mr. Okoro and said again, "Why is your daughter Nkechi eating together with a madman under the village tree? Don't tell me that you collected bride price from a madman," Mr. Okonta asked. "Is that the reason why she rejected and still rejecting suitors?" Elder Okonkwo added. And at that moment, Mr. Okoro got angry and said, "How sure are you that she is my Nkechi? Don't say what you don't know, you fool." They started arguing, and to clear his doubts, they held him by his hands and walked closer to the village tree. And behold, it was his daughter Nkechi, eating from the same bowl with the madman. Mr. Okoro was so disappointed and ashamed to take his words back. On seeing her father and some of the kinsmen, she was shocked and could no longer hide it, as she was caught in the act. Out of rage, Mr. Okoro threw away the food, hit the madman, and warned him to stay away from his daughter, and also threatened to kill him if seen anywhere close to his daughter. He held her hand and dragged her home. When they got home, he became more angry, blaming his wife for allowing their daughter take food to the madman, resulting to her eating together with a madman in the public. "You have brought shame and disgrace to this family. Because of your stupid act, Ndị Ichie now talk to me anyhow they like. You have disgraced my position in this village. What will the villagers say now? I'm now a laughingstock in their eyes. How will I tell the villagers that Onowu's daughter is eating with a madman?" Mr. Okoro said in anger. "My husband, please calm down and let's handle the situation in a matured way," Mrs. Okoro said. "Don't tell me to calm down, woman. You caused all this in the first place," Mr. Okoro replied in anger. And just as he was about to say further, Nkechi cut him short, saying, "Father, he is also a human like us, and he also deserves care. I know he's not normal like you and I, but he's sensible and he's my only friend. Friend will kill you there. Is he the only person in this village that you will make your friend? He is a madman, for God's sake. How can you befriend a madman? Of all the people in this village, you choose to be friends with a madman? Are you normal at all?" Mr. Okoro said out of rage. "Father, he's harmless and I love him. I love everything about him and I love him with all my heart, Father. I'm always complete whenever I'm with him. There is something deep that I feel when I'm with him. Don't you dare call me father. Love Bogidie. That love will kill you, Nkechi. Are you sure you are normal? How can a sensible grown-up woman in love with a madman? Nkechi, what have you done to yourself, this girl? What has that idiot of a madman done to you, my child? How can you fall in love with a madman? You must be out of your mind. And let this be the very last time I will see you anywhere near that madman." "But Father, I love him," Nkechi said, looking sad. "You better don't let me catch you. You better don't let me catch you. Because if I do, you will see the other side of me. And as for that fool, I will deal with him later," Mr. Okoro said and left in anger. "Mother, talk to father. He may be mad, but he's normal and harmless to me. And I love him," Nkechi said. "Will you shut up your mouth before I shut it up for you with a dirty slap? I only permitted you to give him food and not to love him. What do you know about love? Your father is now blaming me because of you. And you still open your mouth to talk about love? Now let me warn you. Let this be the very last time you will associate with that madman. Be it food or water, is prohibited in this house. He will manage on his own. And besides, he has been managing before you met him. Nonsense," Mrs. Okoro said and walked away. What do you think about this story? Will Nkechi ever heed to her parents' warning? Will her love story with the madman cut short? Please drop your answers in the comment section. And don't forget to support our channel by subscribing, like and share to your loved ones. Stay tuned and watch out for the final part. Bye-bye.